Hold on, we're waiting to get this thing going. Still connecting on here. All right, and we are live. What is going on, everybody? I hope you're all having the best day, the best Monday of your entire life today. We got a little podcast episode for y'all today. It's going to be on the more technical side of things, but if you're a beginner, this is something that you need to learn eventually. So today's a good day for you to learn something, to learn it. We're going to go into a little more of the more advanced level of things, but it's not too hard to understand the grasp of what we're going to talk about today. But first, before we're going to hop into it, I'm going to update y'all about myself. So ever since I bought my house, I moved into my house about 10 months ago, almost a year. And ever since I bought it, I've been wanting to get a garage gym. I've been watching YouTube videos, researching everything there is to know about garage gyms, and I've been wanting one. So what did I do this weekend? I bought myself a garage gym. I don't have everything I want just yet, but I got a pretty good start. I got a lot of stuff, and it's all like the Rogue brand. So if you know anything about fitness, anything about gym equipment, Rogue is pretty popular brand. It's name brand. It's actually the brand that the CrossFit games use. So it's a pretty good brand. It's high quality stuff. It's gonna last me a lifetime. And I got a really, really good deal on it. I actually bought it from somebody off Facebook Marketplace, and I got it for a steal. I'm not even gonna lie. So I'm pretty pumped. I'm excited. I haven't even had a chance to set it all up yet. It's just sitting out there in my garage. I haven't put the rack together and all that. But I'm going through this week, and I'm looking forward to get some good workouts in at the house. So it's gonna be a little different than working out in the gym. I still probably will work out in the gym a little bit. Just like during the week when I'm doing my normal routine, I'll probably go to the gym, and I'll save the garage gym for the weekends or days that I can't make it to the gym, or days that my wife wants to work out with me and things like that. So I'm kind of looking forward to getting together with my wife and being able to work out at home and save us time and everything, because my wife, she don't really care to go to the gym. She just don't like it. But she likes working out, and we just got a Peloton recently, and she absolutely loves it. Like, she gets on that thing like every day. So it's actually right behind me if you're watching right there. Yeah. It's right behind me. I actually like it too. I rode it a couple times myself. So it's actually pretty neat. If you thought about getting a Peloton, go ahead and get you one. They're pretty nice. I'm not even gonna lie. And it's the little subscription thing that they have on the TV that you can watch. It's definitely worth it. Like, if you're gonna get the Peloton, you got to get the subscription with it, or you might as well just buy like some cheap bike then. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into the topic for today. And the topic for today is concentric. Well, sorry, I messed up the word. Concentric versus eccentric. So you may be thinking, oh, what the heck is that? Like, I never even heard of that before. What does that got to do with fitness? Well, that's what we're going to get into. I'm going to explain it to y'all. So if you've ever been to the gym, or if you work with a personal trainer, you might have heard this term before, but most like beginner general people have never really heard of this term before. So what exactly does it mean, and why is it important in your fitness routine? Well, first we need to start with the basics. Concentric and eccentric are two types of muscle contractions that occur when you perform any exercise or movement. So every movement has a concentric part of the movement, and it has an eccentric part of the movement. So the concentric part it happens when the muscle shortens as it contracts. So for example, when you do a bicep curl, your bicep contracts and it shortens as you lift the weight. So as you pick it up from your side up towards your chest, you're lifting the weight. That means you're contracting and you're doing the concentric portion of that movement. So it's almost like thinking concentric is like the positive part of the movement. And then eccentric, that's going to be the opposite. That's going to be the negative part of the movement. So for example, it's when your muscle lengthens as it contracts. So using the bicep curl as an example again, the eccentric contraction occurs when you lower the weight, back down to the starting position. So when you let the weight, if you have the weight up here by your chest and you're letting it back down towards your waist, that would be the eccentric portion of the lift. So think of it as like the negative. So you have your positive and you have your negative. That's how I like to think of it. But sometimes that can be misleading because some exercises, depending on what you're doing, they can be opposite. They kind of can work the opposite direction. But it's pretty much positive and negative. That's the way I like to think of it. So why is this important? Why do you need to know this? How's it going to help you in your fitness journey? That's because both portions of the lift, concentric and the eccentric part of the lift, are going to be very beneficial, and you need to work both of them when it comes to training because you will get benefits out of both of them. You need to do both of them because they kind of work on two different parts of the muscle. So you need to do both in order to develop the most well-rounded muscles that you can develop. So there's some key differences in the difference between these two. Concentric contractions are generally associated with building muscle, with building size, and with building power. So when you lift with a heavy weight or you perform a movement that requires a lot of effort, your muscles are working concentrically. And this can help you build strength and muscle mass. So on the other hand, eccentric contractions are often associated with muscle endurance and control. So that's why you always see people doing like slow reps in the gym and they're letting the weight slowly back down to where it began. That's because this is going to help you build your endurance and it's going to help you develop more control when it comes to your muscles. When you lower that weight or you perform a movement that requires you to resist gravity, your muscles are working eccentrically. And this can help you improve overall muscle control and endurance. So in fact, there's actually been studies that show that eccentric training can be especially effective for improving muscle strength and preventing injury. So you'll see this in a lot of like muscle recovery things, like kind of physical therapy type stuff. If you ever go to physical therapy, you're not going to be in there and doing like some intense training, going fast and going hard. You're going to be a little more controlled, be a little more slow. You're going to focus more on that muscle because it's good for recovery and prevent injury, things like that. So by focusing on the eccentric portion of the exercise, you can build strength while also improving your muscle control and reducing risk of injury. So kind of like becoming more coordinated when it comes to your muscles. You hear a lot in the gym, a lot of people talk about that mind-muscle connection. So this is kind of good when it comes to that mind-muscle connection. So it help you be able to contract your muscles better, if that makes sense. Like, because when you can think about what muscle you're doing and then you can actually like feel it when you're doing that exercise, you'll get a better contraction out of that exercise that you're doing. So you'll get better results in return. So when you're designing your workout routine, it's important to include both of these exercises, like the concentric and the eccentric part of the exercise. So that way you can target every aspect of the muscle, not just being powerful, not just being strong. You also want to be coordinated, you want to be controlled, and you want to have those injury prevention aspects of lifting weights. So this can help you build overall muscle strength and improve fitness in the long run. It's going to improve your overall muscle endurance, your overall muscle, what's the word for it? The quality of your workouts is going to improve when you focus on both of these aspects. So yeah, just to break it down in simple terms, I like to think of positive and negative of the rep. So bicep curl, when you pick it up towards your chest, that's the positive. And then when you put it back down towards your waist, that's the negative. Or in aspects where it can be opposite, think of something like a leg press. So in this situation, instead of like the weight moving, sometimes you can have your body moving. So for example, one of those leg presses where instead of pressing the plate away from you, you're actually pressing like your body back. So that would be kind of the opposite. It's kind of difficult. We're not gonna get too much into it because I don't want to confuse y'all. I know it can get kind of confusing when you're doing different exercises, but just think about positive and negative. So bench press, when you're low on the bar down towards your chest, that would be the eccentric. When you're pushing it up away from you, that would be the concentric portion of the bench press. Squat, when you have a barbell squat, when you're low in your body, you're squatting down towards the ground, eccentric. When you're standing back up, concentric. These are just a few examples, like tricep press or tricep push down. When you're pushing the cables down away from, when you're pushing down towards the ground, that's going to be concentric. And then when you're lowering it, when you're letting the weight back up, that's going to be eccentric. So that one's kind of opposite because you're pushing it down and then so it's kind of the opposite of the bicep curl because you're pushing the weight down, which is concentric. But when you do a bicep curl, when you're pulling the weight up, that would be concentric. So it all depends on how gravity is working against you. So it's not necessarily just up and down. It depends on where the weight's pulling and how you're doing the exercise. I know it's kind of confusing, but you kind of get what I'm saying. It's a lot easier to show you in person what I mean. But if you get confused, just look up a quick little video and it'll show you. But don't get too caught up in it. 99% of the exercises that you do are going to have eccentric and concentric portions of the exercise. So as long as you're doing the reps properly, if you're not just throwing the weight around, being all loosey-goosey with it, you should be working both aspects and you should get the benefits from both as long as you're just doing the workouts properly like you should. You shouldn't just be going 90 to nothing, going as fast as you can. You should be controlling the weight. There is some exercises where you would want to go like very explosive and do it quick. So like, for example, if you're doing like a power clean or like a deadlift or something like that, you're going to want to be explosive. You're going to want to be powerful to get that weight up. But pretty much all of the exercises, it's almost best to be slow, controlled than it is to just sit there and rip them out as quick as you can. So all different, there's times when you should and shouldn't do things like super quick like that. So just incorporate a little bit of all of it into your training and you should be good. But yeah, that's all I got for y'all today. I know that was a little more technical than what we normally do, but it's good to know these more technical terms when it comes to the gym, because you will hear a lot of these when you're in the gym, and as you learn like throughout your fitness journey, you will start to hear terms like this. So it's good to go ahead and be familiar with them, so you kind of know what you're talking about. You don't want somebody talking to you in the gym and you're like, I have no clue what's going on. But yeah, so that's eccentric versus concentric movements, exercises when it comes to starting your fitness journey. So think concentric, positive, eccentric, negative. That's how I think of it. But yeah, that's all I got for y'all. Thanks for hanging out with me. Peace, love, protein. We out.